I still don't know why I went to the forest that night. Mama always told me to stay away after dark. She said things lived there, things we couldn't see, things that watched. I never believed her until the night I saw him. It started when my cousin Bayo fell sick. He had a fever that wouldn't go away, and his body shook like a leaf in the wind. The village healer tried everything, herbs, prayers, even bathing him in cold river water. Nothing worked. My aunt was desperate. Someone whispered about him, the old witch doctor who lived at the edge of the forest. They said he could heal anything, but his price was steep. That night, my aunt begged me to go with her. She couldn't carry Bayo alone. I didn't want to, but how could I say no? So, we wrapped Bayo in a blanket and carried him through the dark. The forest was alive with sounds, crickets, owls, rustling leaves, but it felt dead, too. Like something was waiting. We reached his hut just as the moon hid behind the clouds. The place smelled of smoke and rotten meat. Skulls of animals hung from the roof, their hollow eyes staring at us. My aunt knocked, her hand trembling. The door creaked open, and there he was. He was small, with skin like dried bark and eyes that gleamed like a snake's in the firelight. His hair was wild, and his teeth were sharp, too sharp. "Why have you come?" he asked in a voice that felt like cold fingers crawling up my back. My aunt begged him to save Bayo. The witch doctor looked at my cousin, then at us. "I can help," he said, "but it will cost you." "What do you want?" my aunt asked. He smiled, and it was the kind of smile that makes you wish you'd never been born. "A soul," he said. I froze. My aunt didn't say anything for a long time. Then, with tears in her eyes, she nodded. "Take mine," she whispered. The witch doctor laughed. "Not yours," I said, pointing at me. "Ha!" My blood turned to ice. "No," I shouted, but my voice sounded weak, like it belonged to someone else. Before I could run, he threw something, powder, I think, into the air. The world spun, and I fell to the ground. I couldn't move. I couldn't even scream. I don't remember much after that. I saw him lean over Bayo, muttering words I didn't understand. His hands glowed with a sickly green light as he pressed them to my cousin's chest. Bayo's body stopped shaking. His eyes opened. The witch doctor turned to me and smiled again. "It's done," he said. I woke up hours later in the forest, alone. My aunt and Bayo were gone. When I stumbled back to the village, everyone stared at me like I was a ghost. Bayo was alive and healthy, but my aunt refused to talk about that night. As for me, I couldn't sleep for weeks. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face. I heard his voice. And sometimes, late at night, I feel like someone's watching me. Waiting. Mama was right. Some things in the forest should be left alone.